Hello everybody, this is the Spanish Flipper. This is my first Balisong instructional video in English. Like I said in my instruction video, which I recommend you watching so you understand the goal of this channel, I got plenty of tutorials in Spanish, but this is the first one in English, so bear with me. And some people might be disappointed by this video because although it is my first instructional video, I will show no tricks at all. Why? Because before you get a balisong, or if you have one before you start flipping, there's a couple of things that you need to acknowledge. And to my taste, I don't see enough YouTubers, the people that teach balisong tricks, to really give the important information it requires. I mean, to really stress out this information. First of all, and this is the less important one, so I get it out of the way. If you start flipping a balisong and you get your first balisong, most likely, and this is my case and many other people, so I know what I'm talking about. Not only you will be interested in flipping a balisong, you will also be interested in the item by itself, and that eventually will lead to becoming a balisong collector. And let me warn you, good balisongs are expensive, so be ready to spend a lot of money. Just saying, I hope you're rich. Okay, so although that was kind of funny, it is fact. So just be ready that, for instance, this is a new balisong. It is a production one. It's not even custom. It's around $300. It is a good one, but still it's $200. And I've seen balisong over 1K. Custom one, extremely rare, and yeah, 1K. That's a lot of money to me. Anyways, second of all, and most likely most important, there's a lot of people that before getting into balisong that say, I'm afraid of getting into this because I don't want to bleed or getting caught. Well, dude, then don't get into it. I mean, it is pretty straightforward, and I'm sorry if I am being too direct, but dude, you're playing with a knife. What the hell do you expect? I mean, it is bound to happen. It just comes with the territory. So, it will happen. Not to dramatize so much, I will try to calm you. You will bleed because you're just learning a new thing, and that's something I won't get to. But at least at the beginning, when you're just doing basic motions and rollovers, nothing too fancy, and unless you're doing your tricks with an extreme violence and you're using a super heavy balisong, the cuts you will maybe do it to yourself will be pretty mild. I mean, just by doing rollovers and stuff like that, really basic stuff, I've got my fair share of cuts. So again, I know what I'm talking about, and just by doing basic to medium tricks, the worst cut I made myself took just 3 days to heal completely by itself with no treatment. I didn't have to go to the hospital. I just used some alcohol to disinfect the wound and a band-aid, which I always have on my desk, just in case. And that's it. Just 3 days, no flipping, that's it. That's all it cost. So, I don't think that's too much of a severe consequence, but then again, maybe just me. And I'm saying that was the worst one. But on average, it takes in between a few hours or a day to heal. A cut of a basic to medium, advanced level trick. Whatever. I'm not really sure what I said is correct. I hope you understood me. Of course, if you become good at it and you're experimenting with power RLs, really some crazy stuff, for instance, this is something I will never do. I saw a video of Vincent, aka Bite Handle on YouTube. He has a trick which is there's an apple on the top of his head and he just throws his knife at himself. Unfortunately, he didn't make it and he had a nice scar here. Well, I don't know if it's a scar at the end or there's a picture of him with a lot of blood on his face. That's the kind of stuff I personally won't do, because I just don't see the point of doing that. Okay, it takes a lot of guts, skill, preparation, all that, but personally, I'm not in. So unless you're doing stuff like that, you will have more severe wounds. But again, you're doing some basic stuff, you don't do it extremely violently with a very heavy balisong, 3 days max, healing, in the hospital, nothing. Okay, so hope that's scary enough. The people that are scared about that, it is not that bad. At least, unless you do crazy stuff. Okay, second of all, I wanna justify the wounds. Because let me say something that some people know and some others do not realize. When you're learning something, and it doesn't matter what it is, when it comes to balisong, it is specifically cuts. But for instance, I will take another example. When you're riding a bicycle, even though if many years after that you will be the best bicycle rider, you won all the races, you're the best, you're blah blah blah, you're God on a bicycle. That guy, the very first day, he did fall. He did bleed, and he did hurt himself. Why? Because you're learning something. And even though you might be good at hand stuff, like, you know, people that do tricks with cards or those poker coins, you know, like with the fingers and all. Even though you're good at that, and you pick up a balisong for the first time, it is a new thing to you. So you need to train yourself, your muscle memory, your everything. So you will cut yourself. The same way that if you ride a bicycle, you will fall. The same way if, I don't know, pretty much any sport, any hobby, anything you do, you will fail the first time. I mean, it is bound to happen. It doesn't matter how good you will be. Eventually, with time, you will fail at the beginning. And failing with the balisong, well, it implies blood, because it is a knife. Just like that. So there's that. And then, that's all the theory I wanted to tell you about, the philosophy of before starting flipping. There's one thing I want to teach you before you even do the most basic trick, which is this one, by the way. It is the basic horizontal vertical. I don't know, because I do it both ways, so it is hard to me to remember the name. Anyway, that's the most basic trick, okay? But even you do that, there's one thing you need to learn and do. Two things. Okay. Balisong tricks, most of the time, even the most basic one, is made of mini moves. There's first move, second move, third move, and so on. You need to realize that for a good move to be two things, how do I say, more eye candy. I mean, that the people that is looking at you is saying, wow, he's doing it right. And also make it safer. There's two things, there's one thing, that you need to do it right. You need to be fluid, consistent, and every move has to have the same speed, more or less, of course. Why is that? Imagine a trick, this is not a tutorial, so I will do it very overview. I'm just gonna explain why you need to be consistent and fluid. I'm just gonna do the move real quick, real fast, and then I will explain step by step again as an overview. This is not a tutorial. This is what we call the double rollout index, or something. I don't quite remember the name. So that was it. So, fancy opening, my taste. Again, the overview, it's many moves. First of all, go like this, then you do a roll over your index, then over your thumb, then I fail, and I recap, and then you do this. Bam, bam, bam. Many moves, alright? What happens if my first move is extremely fast, then I freak out, and then I stop? And before the next move, I have to regain the whole momentum. Momentum, by the way, if you don't know what it is kind of when you're carrying a certain speed, you use the gravity to your advantage to pretty much do the moves you want to do. So you do not want to lose the momentum at any time. There might be a few moves where you need to stop, but as a general rule, you want to carry the momentum. Why is that? Because if you stop, and then before a rollover or any move, you need to regain the whole momentum, you will force your movement. And when you force something, and you really don't know how it works, you won't know how it will react. And when you don't know how a balisong reacts, 99% of the time you will cut yourself. And that is the one thing you want to avoid. It is like, again, a comparison. This is completely off topic, but believe me, I'm getting to a point. When you're driving a car and you're into a pre-accident situation, and you're not sure if you need to brake or do an evasive maneuver by stepping on the gas pedal. If you never step on the gas pedal at the point you want in that situation, I mean, if you've never been over X miles per hour and you don't know how your car will react, you will most likely drift, and then if you cannot control your drift, bam, you crash. So my point is, I'm not saying drive fast. That is not the point of this video. But if you want to operate a power balisong or anything, you need to know how it operates. And if you don't want something unexpected to happen in the balisong scene, I'm off the driving scene for now, you want to carry the moment. That is the key movement. So, before you do your first movement, I don't know what I just did. The first movement. That was it. Before you do that, you need to learn how your balisong works. And for that, you need to know how the balisong works. And again, for that, I will explain at the most basic level what is a balisong. And this is very obvious to some people, but if you're about to get into balisong, you might not know this information. That is why I'm here. Balisong is pretty much two handles and a blade. There's what we call the safe handle, which is next to the spine of the blade. Spine of the blade is the side that doesn't cut. There's the cutting side, and next to that is the bite handle. Okay, so that's it. How does it work? The blade has two holes, and with those holes, you attach those blades. This is important to know, because if you don't, you won't really understand how it works. So, before you even start bothering looking for a tutorial about this trick, which I recommend starting with this trick because it is the most basic. This is the basic opening. You want to do one exercise. The exercise is the following. You want to have your balisong like this. And like this, I will explain. You have your hand, which is not horizontal or vertical, it is something in between. Okay, about 45 degrees. You will put the balisong just like this. Here's the safe handle, the blade, spine, cutting edge, and bite handle. You want to put your hand right here. Okay? To this point, more or less. You want to pinch the safe handle with your index and your thumb, just like this. And you want to do a motion with your wrist, so it does like this. It is extremely basic, but believe me, there's a catch. There's two things about mastering this move. First of all, there's at the beginning, you have your fingers here, and if you have your muscle memory and you really master the move, you will be able to pretty much remove those fingers just in time. If you want more risk about it, you can do it the other way, and pretty much have your, hold on, just like, okay. How was it again? Forgot. Oh yeah, just like that. You can have it the other way, so you have the bite handle on your hand, and if you don't remove your your fingers on time, bam, you cut yourself. That is not what you want to do. So again, serious mode. Bite handle here, safe handle here, my little blade, cutting edge, and the bite handle. So, there's two ways of doing that, just by holding like that and maybe more fingers so you have more grip. Do like this, okay? Just like this. But ideally, what you want is, like I just said, you have your index and your thumb just like this, then the rest of the fingers like this. You do the motion, and just sometime you remove the fingers so that you can actually grab both handles, because that's how a move should end, by grabbing both handles. So this is important because just by doing this, removing your fingers, you will train your muscle memory. So that's one side of the exercise. Second of all, and back to the physics of the balisong, there's two ways, the wrong way and the right way, for the bite handle to meet the safe handle, and as it follows. The wrong way, which is most likely how we will start, is just by raising the bite handle like this, and the blade will follow the axe of the bite handle, because it comes to a point, as you can see, where it just follows. Okay? The bite handle cannot go any further than that because there's a blocking system. Okay? Does not make so the bite handle cannot go further without moving the blade with himself. Okay? Works like that. But when you think about it, it is not fluid. Because if you do so, there's two movements. Well, more like two steps. That is the word. First step is you move the bite handle, it meets the axe of the blade, and then second step, the two handle meets. That is not what you want, because although in this movement it is not important, when the bite handle meets the blade, the momentum is affected. And like I said, you don't want to disturb your momentum. You just want to carry it all over. Doesn't matter how many moves you do. You just want to carry it uninterrupted, and yeah, uninterrupted. I was looking for another word, but there's no better than that. What you want to do to master this move is so that it sounds only one click. Both the bite handle and the blade move at the same time. At no time they do actually meet and one carries the other. I don't know if you can hear that on my microphone, but here's how it should sound. It is just one click. And here's how it should not sound. Well, I will try to fail. It sounds da-ten, because first there's the sound of the bite handle meeting the blade, and then when the both handles meet. That is the step you don't want. So keep practicing. Make sure it is only one single step, and train your muscle memory so you remove your fingers on time. Okay? And then when you really got this down, you really have mastered it, you can go ahead and learn just the basic opening and closing, and then go forward. But seriously, this 20-minute video, I realize it is long. But if you take me seriously and you actually do this exercise and you really master it down, you will thank me. Because everything will be much easier. Seriously. And you will have less accidents. So, again, like I just mentioned, 20 minutes video long. I will just do a quick recap. Balisong, you will cut yourself. And again, unless you do some really crazy stuff, it won't be bad. You will bleed because you're learning something, so don't be afraid. Balisong, if you're collecting them, expensive as fuck, so win the lottery or something. And really, master this move. I just said it, but I can't stress that enough. Muscle memory, remove your fingers on time, and make sure it's only one click. You want the blade and the bite handle to move at the same time. You don't want the bite handle to carry the blade. Because again, when you will do more advanced tricks, you want your momentum to be carried all the way. You don't want it you don't want it to be interrupted. So that's it, guys. Hope you have a lot of fun with Balisong. It is really a great hobby. I really appreciate it a lot, and I wish it was more spread. So there could be more meetings and more trades and all that stuff. And I hope this video was of some help. See ya.